Yo, Longhairs, it's El Narstavo here. They used to call me El Gustavo, but I finally insisted on a cooler nickname. You might remember me from an interview about awkward stage hair, designing your own hair ties with El Gustavo, being a customer service manager, and most recently, offering a clarity about clarifying shampoo. But I haven't checked in with you personally since managing the shipping department back in 2018. I know all my diehard fans are demanding an update, so here it is. Where in the world is El Gustavo? The truth is, boys, I've steered away from the shipping department and answering customer service emails. I am now senior designer for the Longhairs, and my duties consist of managing all digital assets, designing new hair ties for guys' collections, and building out all weekly blog posts and emails. But I know, you're here to hear about the hair. Would you just look at it? You might remember at the Great Cut in 2019, I cut it all the way up to my shoulders. I have only had 2 small trims since then, but my hair has gotten very long. And I mean past the waistline long. But I have to tell you, it's looking rough. A lot of breakage, split ends, and dryness are visible towards the ends of the strands of hair, and I'm desperate for some hair maintenance. I can feel the snagging on the split ends when they untangle, and the tips breaking off when I brush my hair. On top of that, my flyaways are just out of control. So what has been holding me back? Is it finding someone I can trust to cut my hair? Yeah, I can go to any local barber and let them know what I want. Yet there are concerns that cross my mind. Do they have enough experience? What if they end up trashing my hair, cutting off way too much? I mean, these are some luscious locks. I can't just let anyone get their hands in there. It's just one of those things that gets away from you, especially if you're not in a normal routine. When am I supposed to go? I got work and kids and shit. I mean, gosh, if you're like me, you probably stretch out your hair maintenance way past due. But it's time to pay the piper. Let's head down to Little Italy. So the guys have been going to Shelby Shears, and I gotta say, their hair is making me a little jealous. Anyway, they put in a good word for me, and Shelby now has a new client.
Hey Gus, how you doing today?
Good. Yourself?
Welcome in. Come on over.
Thanks for having me.
Got a lot of hair.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna do a little analysis here.
Sloppy Joe, because I'm usually on the go. I do have time sometimes, but I get lazy.
Your scalp looks healthy.
Good.
You do have some split ends.
A lot, yeah.
A lot of split ends on the ends. You can almost see
I
them.
see them. I trim them sometimes myself. I could literally just use my nail and they'll come right off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that though,
Yeah,
because then it'll just start to split all over again.
Yeah.
So how much? I mean, we're not taking off a lot, but how, what do you want to see happen with the split ends on the end? 3 to 4 inches probably. I do have a little technique that I do for split ends. I call it my little split end trim, where it's not, cool. You don't necessarily have to cut off the length in order to get to those split ends that are up in here as well. The mid shafts look pretty healthy. What do you do for the flyaways? I try to use some product, sea salt spray or whatever I can to keep them down, but they always end up just going up regardless. So as far as the flyaways go, a lot of the flyaways, that's going to be a lot of your new growth. Yeah. So like hair that you've already shed that's now growing back in. So to lay those down, you could use a little bit of the hair serum, but if that's not quite enough hold, I do have a lion's mane product that is very lightweight that will help hold down those flyaways. Okay. You're like one of the rare few that have like your hair actually goes back with your ponytail if you were to wear it up. Yeah, so we'll definitely clean up some of that neck hair, get it all nice and natural that way, so when you do wear it up, that it's not looking like it's just hanging out. We're gonna wash you and then do the haircut. I am going to have G, our other barber, also specializes in men's long hair, so it's not just me, guys. And then we'll go from there. Hi, I'm Gus.
Hey, Gus, it's G.
Hi.
Hop on in, babe.
Let me take off
pull up these luscious locks of yours. Swoop.
Yeah, there's a plethora.
Yes.
Of it.
We got most of these ladies jealous out here, I see. So we're gonna go in with something super hydrating for you today. A lot of wear and tear, a lot of sun.
Yeah, it's been going on 4 years since I actually cut it. So.
Oh, wow. All right, well, we're gonna go in with some of my favorite products, which are the Longhairs shampoo. So this will give you all the hydration that those ends need. You do have a little bit of a wave happening as well. So when you have either curly or wavy hair, it's super porous and it tends to be a little drier than, let's say, straight hair or something of that sort. And once a week is good, to be honest with you. Definitely Less is more when it comes to long hair. There's no reason to dry it out and wash it every single day.
Yeah.
You do want those natural oils that can help replenish the scalp and all that to help keep with like, you know, your scalp health and all that good stuff. So far, I mean, I will say roots to mid shaft are pretty good. Nice, and it's thick, it's healthy, it feels good. You don't have, your scalp doesn't feel any like dry or anything like that. I will say those ends are definitely calling out for help. Now we're gonna go in with our ideal conditioner. This is a hydrating conditioner. I'm gonna focus more to the mid shaft and the ends because of those natural oils and because your hair is pretty healthy on, you know, like I said, mid shaft up, and you do have a nice healthy scalp. Most of our focus is really hydrating and rejuvenating these ends, especially so she can get through it and be able to cut it as well as she can. We don't need them tangling on her or getting wild, you know. And sometimes, you know, somebody else can get all the spots that you can't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get to.
Especially the longer your hair gets, it is actually a little harder to shampoo it on your own in the shower.
Yeah.
So I will suggest that if you have issues in the shower with getting to all the spots and through all the sections, it's okay to section off and wash one section at a time.
Yeah.
So if you need to split it in half, you know, one side versus another, you'll notice that you'll be able to get the product concentrated in the areas that you need. You'll be able to make sure you really get a good suds and, you know, all of that good stuff. Even if you just wash it all separately, but then you rinse it all at the same time. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah.
You don't have to like really break it down, but it'll help you really like penetrate inside some of that thickness because you have a great thick head of hair.
Does leaving the product in your hair for a certain amount of time, is that really like important, or you could just apply it and take it off right away, or?
I will say conditioner, it does help a little bit to kind of leave it in. It helps kind of like penetrate a little bit longer, but not a whole lot. You know, I wouldn't say not a whole lot. I mean, there are other shampoos and conditioners that are made for that type of stuff. They are more color geared, so when you have simple, just lovely, simple long locks, I would say not too much. Leaving a little conditioner and a little extra won't hurt, but I won't say it will make a magical difference.
Yeah.
Longhairs.
So in this instance, would it be like, would you dry it before cutting, or it's okay to cut?
Nope. We cut hair. We usually do all scissor cuts with the hair wet because wet hair behaves. It's more easier to control. So in brushing, always start from your ends, even when it's wet. You can use a wide tooth comb if you're going to do it with a comb. I actually just had a guy come in. He had the same amount of hair. And I actually think he was from a long hair video. He watched the maximum flow video. There's something about sectioning the hair and just working in the areas that I need to work in that just is more like soothing to my brain.
Yeah.
It's organization. So your hair is so long that I'm gonna actually have you sit in a different seat.
Oh, really?
I have everybody with long hair. I either have you stand or I'll have you sit on the saddle seat.
Okay.
You've ridden a horse before, right?
Yeah, I'll sit on there.
There we go. Tell me about growing your hair out. When did this process start? Because this is super long, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's really started like in 2014.
Did you have an awkward phase at all?
Oh yeah, it was right when I started. What I did was I used pretty much a hat almost daily. And eventually it got to a point where, I mean, it went by my ears and it got longer and I was getting there, and that's when I kind of just let it hang out without a hat. But I kept it simple, that's pretty much it.
So we are pretty much all trimmed up. Definitely, I would do more of that hydrating, like use the hydro flow, quite a bit of it on your ends, because the further the hair gets away from the scalp, the more it's going to be dry. So because all your natural oils are up here. So even if you're using the boar bristle brush to pull those oils down, is necessarily you might not produce enough sebum up here in order to pull that all the way through the ends. So that's where your hydro flow and your serums are going to come in. Okay, we're going to go back to the chair. What I know about oils is that oils, they do have limited penetrating abilities, especially depending on the particular oil that you might be using. Think of your hair like a road, and the road has potholes in it. The potholes represent the porosity of the hair. The porosity is the amount of water or liquid that your hair holds. So you have pretty average porosity. Your hair is pretty overall healthy. That's also because you're not styling it on a regular basis. You're not really like doing anything to it, like to heat process or anything like that. You know, you take pretty good care of your hair, other than needing a trim because of split ends. But that's just regular maintenance. That could be every 6 months. You know what I mean? You could get your hair cut twice a year. You know, and kind of keep that to kind of prevent the split ends from happening. But going back to the potholes, if you think about a pothole, if you keep filling a pothole with oil, what happens? It just sits there. You've got an oil slick now. So, but the whole point of, you want to fill those holes with hydration and then put the oil on. So the same thing with your beard. If your beard is naturally porous because it's more coarse or whatever, putting hydration into the beard is going to make it softer and help strengthen it. And then the oil sitting on top of that is just going to kind of lock it all in and give you that sheen. I'm going to start mid-shaft to ends. Work it through. And the thing is, the leave-in conditioner, you don't necessarily have to do the leave-in conditioner once a week. You can literally do it every day. Okay. You know what I mean? It's not, it's a leave-in conditioner. It's not one that needs to be rinsed out.
You feel a little dry.
You can actually use it as a styling product without any weight or stickiness in your hair.
Exactly.
So in itself, it is a styling product, especially if you have flyaways and stuff like that. That moisture down here is going to hold that down. The long haircut isn't about, like, it doesn't normally take too long to cut hair. It's really the styling and the talking and the, you know, the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes so long.
Yeah, that's why I'm just having.
So you can already see you already have some shape there. Your ends are not, they don't look like they've been chewed on.
Yeah.
So we're going in with the open air.
Yeah.
I love cocktailing products. I am a huge, huge fan of cocktailing products. I don't believe in a one size fits all.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a better grip on things when you cocktail. Like in my hair, I use a curl gel, and then I also use, you know, sometimes some hairspray, some thermal spray. So this too, I'm also working this from the mid shaft to the ends. Anything that's left on my palms, I'm just lightly putting it through the top. Kind of massage your hair.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you would massage your hands if they were like massage the product into your hair.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go through with the brush and just like kind of like just distribute it. So now I'm using an airflow nozzle. If you guys use a blow dryer, make sure that you're putting a nozzle on there. And the reason why is because when you just go in like this, you're burning the hair. This actually controls the airflow and it concentrates the heat exactly where you want it.
Okay.
My heat setting is on low. It's not super hot. If your hair was curly, I would probably use a diffuser. It wouldn't blow it around like this. It keeps it all in one place. When I diffuse my hair with my product in it with the Dyson, my curls are better. Oh. They just look better. So that split end trim that I was telling you about, I like to do that dry. And the reason I like to do it dry is because I can see all the hairs pop up. When the hair is wet, they all lay down and hide. So I'm gonna go through and section it out and kind of get all those little hairs. So you'll be able to see the technique. You might want to put your glasses on for that one so you can see it. Because I don't want it to blow around, I want to keep it less frizzy. So the diffuser on straight hair is gonna keep the hair from just going all over the place. And it kind of works like a brush too. And I'm analyzing it as I'm blow drying it too. I'm kind of looking at it through a different lens now that it's like, you know, trimmed and kind of styled at this point with some product in it. I kind of want to like touch back on the grow out stage of the hat, because you're not the only person I've heard that from. I hear that from a lot of guys. They just wear a hat all the time.
Yeah.
That's not always an option for like, especially your corporate guys that are wanting to grow out their hair. And I've talked about it in previous videos. There are ways to grow out the hair to keep it from being, it doesn't have to be a mullet.
Yeah.
I saw all the feedback on that. There's a way to do it from going into a simple gentleman's cut, keeping the back and around the hairline, the nape and the ears shorter while the top grows out, because this has a farther distance to travel than what down here does. So like if you're somebody that doesn't want to get your hair cut that often, say, that's where the mullet would come in if you want to rock that style. It's not necessary, but it's an option. It's just an option, that's all it is. But if you're wanting to grow your hair out, but you still need to look presentable in your eyes, corporate world, in order to do that, this is where you would have to keep the sides in the very back shorter while this hair gets to where you need it to go. I have several guys that are in that stage right now.
Oh, okay.
And I went through an awkward phase too. My hair used to be a pixie cut. And I went through an awkward phase. As a woman, I also did have the option of extensions, but I didn't really do any extensions. I grew out the top of my hair and then kept the back. I did the same thing. So what I'm recommending for people to grow out their hair, I did the same exact thing, you know what I mean? So it's a process that I learned just using myself as a guinea pig. But you want to keep it stylized and shaped while you grow out too. Not necessarily, like I said, a hat's not always an option for some guys. So I'm going to use this instead of the clipper because this is going to leave a little bit more natural versus it being like super faded. So let's address these flyaways now. So this is the pomade that I was talking about is actually my brand. Forth and kind of feel just how lightweight it is. It literally disappears.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna emulsify it just like this. Yeah. So this is all I'm doing.
Slightly.
I'm literally just and I'm gonna have you run your hands through your hair afterwards. That way so that you can feel that it's not super heavy.
Yeah, it just keeps it down. Yeah. It does. It's very light.
Yeah, like I can literally rub it into my hands and I'm not like not super sticky. It's got a little bit of tack to it, but it's not anything that's gonna be.
And again, it does need a little bit. Just
and it's a natural sheen. So that can, if you use it like that, that can will last you. So right here, all I did was
that was a lot right there. Like
I just used the little razor and just kind of blended it in and like left some of those hairs that are there just that way so that when you put it up, it'll look less frizzy and.
I like it. Looks great. Thank you. I just got a cut and it was amazing. Check it out. Now, after getting it trimmed and maintained, I feel way better about my hair. I've been getting massive compliments and I am confident that my hair is healthy and ready for the Great Cut 2024. If you're in San Diego or are in town, be sure to give the Lion's main grooming co. a visit. All right, that's been my 4-year hair update. I hope this video has inspired you to keep growing and maintaining your flow. It's not always easy, but it's definitely worth it in the end. If you have any questions or want to share your own hair growth journey, feel free to leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more hair content. I am Eldar Stauble, and I'm out.